Hey guys, this is Enthos. Welcome back to my moveset modding tutorial series where I'll explain the basics of creating new movesets, yada yada. If you remember last video, we did an R2 for Zweihander. It does basically just the bone fist, the dragon bone fist R2 with the Quelaag Fury sword trail. So I had DSR Gadget open because I want to show you what's wrone with this and why we can't just straight up port moves from other weapons. Normally with a Dragon Bone Fist, if you hit some enemy with that, they will go flying. They'll go flying backwards, or if it's a player character, they'll go flying upwards. So let me turn on no death for the enemies. And you'll see that, like the Zweihander R2, the normal one, which is more like this, because I didn't replace the two, I did one so I could show you. They get pancaked. If I R2 with this, they still get pancaked. So this video is basically going to be about that, about behaviors, attack params, and maybe I'll touch on bullets as well. But yeah, let's get into it. So Zweihander in Smithbox, we have the special attack category 137. That's our new TAE we did last video. And I'm gonna also open up Anim Studio, get my mods folder, modding tools, and we're gonna look at the TAE there. Let's give it a minute to open. Hopefully this video is a little faster than the last one. I thought the last one would be fast too, but I guess I had a lot to go over. So edit, collapse all, we'll scroll down to 137. Here's our custom R2. So if we, let me talk about the controls too, because I didn't really go over that. Middle click is pan. If you control and scroll, it'll zoom. So yeah, I'm gonna move this out of the way. You can change your player equipment here too. I didn't really go over that, but I'm just gonna close it because you can always reopen that in one of these. Yeah, this one. But yeah, without getting too sidetracked, let's find where the hitbox starts, which is right here. So that's invoke PC behavior. And funnily enough, most weapons you'll see don't use this. Like if we looked at 95, I believe that's Greatsword. Yeah. So they use invoke attack behavior. And let me also look at a regular move. Let's look at the kick. Invoke PC behavior again. So all kicks and punches use invoke PC behavior. What you can change here. These are all the different event types. They use 307, and everything else pretty much uses either 1 or 2 for attack behavior or bullet behavior. I haven't really seen invoke common behavior used anywhere. I'm sure it's used for something, or maybe it's not even in this game, I don't know. But PC behavior is for punches and kicks. You'll see they have different behavior types, and what those do is they enable like the Thorns armor functionality. So leggings of Thorns will be affected by kicks, and so will the orange charge ring. But if you look at a punch, which this technically is because it came from Dragon Bone Fist, let's just scroll over here. It uses 16. So 16 for punches and 8 for kicks. Like I said, most melee weapons don't use that unless they're fist weapons. So we're going to change this to invoke attack behavior. It's not totally necessary, but we don't really want this to be affected by the Gauntlets of Thorns. So we're gonna paste the invoke attack from another animation, or even we could just change this. Really, we could go and change this like that, but I'm just copying and pasting so I don't have to remember all the values here. Behavior judge ID, this is an important one. So let me go ahead and just delete this. It's already the same as this one. I'm going to delete the PC behavior and move the attack behavior here. So it still works as normal, but now it's not affected by Thorn's armor. Behavior judge ID though, let's talk about that. So you'll notice in the viewport we can actually see the name of the animation that's being used. And you know what, let's actually, so it's less confusing, change the weapon to Zweihander, since that's the one we're playing with. Where is it? I know you do entity utils, change this to, oops, Zweihander. There we go. So now it's telling us the exact attack behavior, or attack param, which is 2600-100, and you can look in here, 2600-100, and the name matches, an attack param PC. But let's talk about why, or how that matches. So 100 is the last 3 digits, and the 2600 is an equip param weapon. It's this behavior variation ID. So it's really that simple, but when you call a behavior judge ID like this in invoke attack behavior, it's not looking straight for the attack param. It's actually going to behavior param PC first, and it's searching for 2600-100. And all the behavior params start with a 10. So just keep that in mind. But it's really looking here for 2600 because that matches this. And so does the ID, of course, 2600. And then the 100 is where you get this. And you can see it's referencing the attack param. I hope I'm explaining this clearly. But yeah, just the 2600 is the Zweihander's behavior variation ID. If I change to a different, if I preview like a different ultra great sword, say the great sword, it uses 2602. So if we just, let's open that back up. Oh, there it is. Right hand weapon, great sword. Let's find it somewhere here. Great sword. Now it's going to say 2602-100. Hopefully that makes sense. The 26 usually matches the web motion category. So you have 26 here and 26 here. You know, 26 here, 26 here. And the second 2 digits are always the actual variation. So 00 is of course like the default. Everything falls back to 00 if it doesn't have a unique behavior. Like, I'm pretty sure if we look at the R1s of let me open up Anim Studio. If we look at the R1s, it's still gonna say 2600 most likely. Yeah. So even though we're on Greatsword, which has a variation ID of 2602, it's still using 2600 because that's the default, and there's no basically override for this behavior for the R1s. The R1s use 0, so that would be 260000. Let's look at that attack param. Let's just change this to a 0. So you have a one-hand normal 1. That's the one-hand R1. But if you were to search for 2602, I guess they do have a behavior for it. but see, it references the same attack param. So usually they might have a behavior for something, and it's good practice to make a behavior for something even if it uses the same attack ID, because you can control the stamina differently and stuff like that. But yeah, you'll basically just want behaviors for everything, even if it's reusing something else. Anyway, this is getting confusing. Let me show you how we can fix the thing, the uppercut. So I'm gonna switch one more time back to Zweihander, and we're gonna look back down here in our TAE, our invoke attack. So we're using 2600. Now, other weapons might be using that attack ID, like I said, and we can actually just check if anything else is using 2600. Doesn't look like anything is. This Ghost Ultra Greatsword is, but that's not a real weapon, so we're not gonna bother caring about it. So yeah, since in our case this is the only weapon that's using this variation ID, we don't have to worry about making a new variation because nothing else is going to be affected by it. In fact, we can double check by going to behavior and right clicking this and searching the ref ID. So if we search 2600, oh, actually it looks like the Dragon Greatsword uses the same behavior. So, oh no, it doesn't. It uses a different behavior, but it references the same attack ID. So we couldn't just change this attack ID, or it would affect both, or this attack param rather. Let me open this in a new view. I'll make a new tab. So basically, how would I separate these? Right, we don't want the Dragon Greatsword R2 to send enemies flying in the air. Well, it already has a variation ID of 2601, and I kind of doubt there's already, yeah, look, there's no attack behavior, but we can make one. So we'll take our 2600, we'll duplicate it. I'm going to change the ID to 2601-100, and then we can go ahead and resort it. It is here, tools, sort rows, 2601. We can go ahead and rename this as well. So I'm going to take the name from this, and actually I'm just going to take this part. And there, now it's nice and neat. So now Dragon Greatsword has its own behavior. It's a duplicate, or it has its own attack param, excuse me. It's a duplicate of the original one-hand R2. And we want to make the behavior param reference that. So we're going to go to 2601-100 and change this to a 1. Previously, that wouldn't have gone anywhere, but since we just added it, now it's referencing it, the one we just created. So now the only thing using this one is Zweihander, and we can go ahead and change it. So I'm going to go back to this one. I'm not even going to bother using multiple views actually. And the thing we want to change is the damage level. So I guess damage level 6 is the pancake. I guess it doesn't explicitly say so, but damage level 6 strike is the pancake damage type, and we want to change it to uppercut. You can just right click this and it'll give you all these options. If you want to double check that it's consistent with Dragon Bone Fists, damage level, we can search for that. So instead of using Anim Studio this time to find the ID, let's just use our brain and search for Dragon Bone Fist. So its behavior variation ID is 4204, and if we go ahead and search in behavior param 4204, we know that 100 for the last 3 digits is usually used for one-hand R2s. So we'll just add that, and there it is. This is the Dragon Bone Fist one-hand R2, and we can go to its attack param now, and there it is, damage level uppercut. So it's using the same one as ours. And now if we save all modified params and we start our game over, we'll see that it uppercuts. So here we are in game. I'm going to press R2 on something, and they went flying backward. That was a little hard to see. Let's do it down here. Yeah, and that works just how Dragon Bone Fist does. A little stuck here. Let me warp to Petrus, I guess. We can try it on Petrus, and he'll actually go flying upwards, because enemies don't go flying that way. Let's just warp to Firelink Shrine with DSR Gadget. Yeah, I would have hit Crestfallen Warrior, but he's already dead, I guess. There's Petrus. So R2 him, and he goes flying. He hates me now too, but that's fine. So yeah, there it is. No more pancakes on our custom move. The process for making brand new moves, brand new variation IDs, isn't really much different. It's just duplicating more params and giving them unique IDs and stuff. So I don't think I'll really go over that here. Or I guess I briefly can. Yeah, so let me just like briefly go over the process, right? So we search for variation IDs, 26, everything that starts with 26. And let's just scroll through all these and see what's used. 00 is used, 02 is used, 03 is used, and 01 and 04. So I guess 05 is not a thing, right? We can also just search one at a time like this until we get no results. So 2605 is not used, meaning if we wanted to make a brand new variation ID, we could just set this one to 5. And now the infusions aren't affected. I guess we would want to go back to this one, our attack param, and change this back to what it was, so that the infusions aren't affected, right? And we'll go ahead and duplicate all the 2600 ones. Save all of these. We would do that, and let me show you a better way of doing this, so you don't have to fix all the IDs. You can just, if I can figure out how to do it in Smithbox, because I've only done it in Map Studio, you can export, maybe there's even a tool here. Okay, so we could go to export. Okay, so a fast way to duplicate all of these to make 2605 versions would be going to Data, Export CSV, Selected Rows, Export to Window, All Fields, and just Control A, Control C. And then we can import a CSV, All Fields, and paste. Let me make this window bigger. Can I make it bigger? I don't think so. I'm just going to change each line to 2605. This is a very tedious way to do it, but oops. There you go, 2605 on all of them. If we submit, we now have all of these new ones. And you can rename them if you want. I'm not going to bother. But now we have all new attack params we can use. And we can do the same for the behaviors. So 2600, 102600, that'll give us options faster. Data, export, selected, export all fields, Control A, Control C, data, import all fields, and change all the 2600s to 2605s. Again, this is a little slow, but that's just how it is. So I think that was all of them done correctly. Yep, go ahead and submit. And now when we search 2605, all of these are there. All of them are still referencing 2600 attack params, so we gotta change that. And they all still have the 2600 variation ID, so we gotta select all of these, and we can mass edit. I'm not really sure how to mass edit in here. I think if we just do equals 2605 semicolon, yeah, that'll change all those. And I believe we can do a similar thing and just add, what would it be, 5,000 to all of these. Yep. So now these are all referencing the correct IDs as well, and we can save all. We can also just make all these use 26500 as well if we wanted. Equals 2605. There. So that would work if you were like making a brand new weapon and you didn't want any of your behaviors to affect or your new attack params to affect existing weapons, right? And I'll show you in game that this still pancakes, but yeah, we can change 2605 100 back to the uppercut, and then save. And when we start our game again, all those Vihanders will have that. Oh yeah, no, actually, I'll also show you because I didn't do the infusions with the uppercut animation. The original slam will still do the uppercut, so that'll be a good opportunity to show you guys. This is Vihanders R2 right now. Come on, don't block. That's annoying. There you go. He went flying up. But if I spawn in a crystals Vihander or something, it'll still do the slam. But since it's using, okay, oh, come on. Stop moving, Petrus. He still goes up because it's using the same variation ID as regular Zweihander. But if I change this back to 2600 and I save, we restart our game, it'll be back to the pancake. So that's the importance of you know, separating your behaviors, and that's how to assign attack params to new behaviors. I think I'll save bullets for another video, but it's basically the same idea if you want to go ahead. It's just, you know, the behavior will reference an attack param instead. Invoke attack behavior is pretty much the same as bullet behavior. There's just some extra fields for where bullets spawn, but the principle is the same. So I'll probably just go over like adding projectiles to weapons in another video because I don't want to make this one too long. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope that wasn't a nightmare to follow, and see you guys next one.